Welcome to Spooktober! We're all season long, we're doing Halloween themed videos. Go grab your candy and let's get started. What's going on, everyone, and happy Halloween to all of you guys celebrating this spooky holiday. Guys, I've been saving this tier list specifically for this day. Here it is, my second favorite typing in all of Pokemon. It's the Ghost type. Guys, I'm excited to get this one done with you guys, and if you guys are just as excited as I am to go through the Ghost types, well, make sure you leave a like, and if you're new to the channel and you find this, video to be just something really fun and you really liked it, consider subscribing. It would mean the world to me, and if you do, make sure you hit that notification bell. That way you can get notified each and every time I drop a new video. That way you can get in on the action as soon as it's happening. Guys, let's get started with the Ghost type. And we're going to do this one slightly different than the previous tier list that we're doing. And we'll hold off on certain aspects until the end. But first and foremost, let's get started with Alolan Marowak. Alolan Marowak is a very cool design, I gotta say. It took quite some time to take normal Marowak and give him a retrain, and giving him the Ghost Fire type is pretty sweet. I mean, it looks great. I mean, it's not like over the top or anything, but it is straightforward and solid. I'm gonna have to give it the A tier for sure. I hope you guys like Alolan Marowak as much as I do. Moving on here, Gen 9 introduced us to Annihilate, which is the evolved form of Primeape, and well, it's a pretty solid design, I'd say. I mean, I was never really the greatest fan of like Mankey Primeape to begin with, but Annihilate actually is pretty sweet, pretty solid looking. I don't think I would put him in A tier for myself, but he is fairly solid, and so we're gonna put him here in B tier, and I think that's fair. I don't think any lower than B tier would be very like giving the Pokemon justice. I think B tier is a solid position for it. It could end up at like the low end of A tier for me by the end of this, but I think right here, pretty solid. Moving on, we have Hisuian Typhlosion here, and we're gonna ignore all of the, the lore, whatever you want to call it, that has come out recently for Typhlosion. Typhlosion is solid. Giving it the Ghost type is incredible. I'm going to give it the B tier. I mean, I love Johto. Johto is my favorite region, my favorite generation, Gen 2. I think Typhlosion definitely gets an upgrade, giving it the Ghost type for sure. I don't think I like it more than the Alolan Marowak, though, but it's close. It's pretty close, I gotta say. Moving on, we have Fluttermane. Fluttermane, if you guys haven't seen my Fairy type tier list, I will leave a link in the description and probably a pop-up here or something, but if you guys have seen the Fairy type tier list, this should be no surprise to you. This is going straight up into S tier. Love Fluttermane's design. I've always liked Mischievous, and it getting like a better upgraded form. I mean, it's just solid. It's a solid look. And with that in mind, Miss Magius, however you want to call it, say it, whatever, is also going to reside up here in the S tier for me. I've always loved that evolution line. It getting this back in Gen 4 was an amazing move. I wish they would have done it sooner in Gen 2, but, better late than never. Great, solid forms for the Pokemon's evolutionary line. Not much more to say about it. Furthermore, if you guys have seen my Bug-type tier list, also we'll leave a link in the description for all of the repeats that we're going to have pop up here. But Shedinja landed himself in the A tier, and of course he is going to remain in the A tier for us here on the Ghost tier list. Love the concept, love the design. Moving on, Sableye. Sableye, again, Dark-type tier list. It's the one that came out before this one, so maybe go check out that tier list as well if you haven't already. Sableye here landed himself in the B tier for me, personally, for the Darks. I say it's still going to land here in the tier as well. I still think its design is fair for either a dark or a ghost type. It obviously looks more ghostly than dark, but I think B tier is perfectly fine for this Pokemon. I like the design fair enough. If you guys don't know, usually I pick the final evolutions of the stages of the evolutional lines, but we always, from time to time, make slight adjustments and exceptions. The exception for Shuppet here is that I always thought Shuppet was way cuter and was the better designed one out of the evolutionary line over Banette. Mega Banette is really cool looking, but we're not covering Megas in this these tier lists, so I'm going to land Shuppet up in the A tier as well. Really think it's a good design, and honestly, I think I like it a little bit better than Shedinja design-wise, so we're going to put it up here. And for all of you guys that are new, these are not based off of how well they do in combat. This is strictly just based off of design and how much I like the Pokemon's design. Moving on, we have Dusknoir, which I never liked Dusclops in Gen 3. I always thought Duskull was a better design, and then when it came out with Dusknoir, really liked this Pokemon, thought it was a fitting third evolution. This is going to come up here in S tier for me. I do really like this ghost a lot. No, I think I'd still rather have any of my mischievous evolutions over it, but not by much. Really good, solid pick here. Yeah, Dusknoir, I know it didn't really get too much from Dusclops, but it did make Dusclops better because you can give it the Eviolite or whatever the heck it is. But yeah, Dusknoir, really solid, bulky ghost. Love the design. Moving on, we have Drifblim. And I'm going to put this in B for Blimp. It's not bad, but it's not really my favorite ghost type. But its design is still decent enough to land it itself in the B tier here. Not much more to say on it. Any of you Drifblim fans out there, leave a comment below why it is your favorite. But again, solid enough, B tier for me. If you haven't seen my dark type tier list, again, go check that out. Links are in the description. Spiritomb for a dark design landed itself in C tier, but this is going to be one of those rare occasions where, because of analyzing the other side of the typing that it has, in this case Ghost, it definitely looks better as a Ghost than it does a dark type. So it's going to land itself here in the B tier for this video. Not much more to say on it. Frostlass is a solid design. I like it quite a bit. I'm going to put it up here in the A tier. Again, probably a little bit more than Shedinja, but I don't think it's as cute as Shuppet is, so we're going to do this right like this. Yeah, Ice Ghost, really cool. Really, I've used it on a playthrough of mine before, and I really enjoyed using it, so A tier, good design, and just overall decent Pokemon. A tier is pretty good for it. Moving on, Rotom. Rotom, when we went over the electric type tier list, we put this in B tier. It's going to find itself here again as well. Not much has changed. It's a good electric type. Maybe not as good looking as a ghost type, because it mostly just looks like a lightning bolt in a lot of ways, but I think B tier is still fair for it being a ghost type, so B tier it is. Moving on, we have the legend himself, Giratina. Giratina is one of the coolest legendaries probably ever made, and for that reason, it's coming up here in the S tier for sure. I actually do like it better than Dusknoir. I don't think I like it still more than... No, that's probably a lie. I am gonna be switching the S tiers around here as we go along. Usually we save S tier for the end of the video, but we're doing this video different today. We are going to do this, and that's all we're gonna talk about it. Giratina is just a really solid design. Ghost Dragon, it's amazing. Moving on, we have Cophagrigus. Yeah, okay, I did put that in there for later. Yeah, Cophagrigus here. I was never really the biggest fan of it. I mean, the theme is pretty cool, but it's just kind of weird to me. So I'm gonna put this in C tier. C for Sarcophagus here, I guess. I don't know. It's a good theme. I don't know. I think they could have done a little bit better. I guess as high as I would probably go would be like a low B tier, but I think C tier is fair. Moving on, we have the new normal Ghost Gen 9 Zoroark here, and this is a phenomenal design. Obviously, normal Zoroark in my dark tier list was A tier, and that is not changing for this in the slightest. This is a fantastic design. Honestly, this is going to go to the top of A tier for me until something else knocks it down. But yeah, I think this is good so far. I think top of A tier so far out of everything in A tier. Just a really good design. Good typing, good design. Next we have the jellyfish, the Ghost Waters. Obviously I'm gonna just pair these at the same time. They're basically interchangeable for sure. Water type is my favorite type in the game, paired with my second favorite type in the game, but I feel like they could have done better with a concept for this. I think B tier is about as high as I'll go. I'm not disinclined to put it in C tier, but I think I do like them well enough to put them in B tier. In all honesty, though, you know, it is going to have to be in B tier because I actually like them a little bit better. Okay, maybe I like them a lot better than I actually originally thought. I don't like them more than Sableye, but I definitely like them better than the Blimp and everything else behind it. I think that's pretty fair. Yeah, so next we have Chandelure, and Chandelure is going straight up into S tier for me. I like it actually more than Giratina. I really do like the design of this Pokemon a lot. It's a solid Pokemon. It's a good special attacker. Yeah, really just an on-point spooky theme going on there, and I love it. It's a great Pokemon. Golurk, another great Pokemon, gonna land himself into the A tier for me. Ghost Ground, good typing. I'm gonna put it right here in between the Shuppet and the Frostlass because that's just how much, I like it a little bit more than Frostlass, but Shuppet is just too cute. So we're gonna leave it there. I think that's pretty fair. Aegislash is an S tier Pokemon for me. Steel and Ghost, and it's got like this whole like sword. It's a sword and shield. It's like a knight theme going on. I love knights, so Aegislash is gonna get up here, and I think I like it just a little bit more than Dusknoir. No, I take that back. I like Dusknoir a little bit better. We're gonna do that. We're definitely gonna do it that way. Yeah, Aegislash, solid Pokemon. Not much more to say about it. Next we have Trevenant. Trevenant is absolutely an A tier Pokemon. Like it better than the Bug. Definitely like it better than Frostlass. Its design is just too on point. We're gonna put him right here. And yeah, I think that's pretty fair. Alright, moving on. The other grass ghost here, and in this case, I'm using Pumpkaboo because I like Pumpkaboo better than its final form. That's name is escaping me at this exact moment. But yeah, Pumpkaboo, very cute Pokemon. Definitely A tier worthy in design. And I'm gonna actually set it right here next to Golurk and Shuppet. It is just as cute as Shuppet. I like Shuppet a little bit more, but I think that's pretty cool. I like this. I like how this list is already shaping out right now. Next we have Hoopa, and Hoopa D tier. I don't like this Pokemon. The Unbound one, or the one that we covered in the last episode in the Dark tier list, found itself up here at the top of C. But normal Hoopa, honestly, like what I don't know. I think it's also Psychic, I want to say. Or is that the other one? I can't even remember at this point. But Hoopa, design-wise, just like, why? I don't know. Decidueye or Decadui, or however the heck you like to say it. I like just calling it Decidueye. Struggling here. It could be at the top of A tier because I like it. I love owls. Owls are really cool. Or it could be S tier. I'm gonna say we're gonna shape S tier under stricter standards for this tier list because it is my second favorite tier type in the game. We are going to put him at the top of A tier for right now. Really like this design. Really like the Pokemon. Moving on, we have the ghost form of Oricorio. C tier. I like the Cofagrigus a little bit better. Not much more for me to say on it. I mean, it's a bird that is always flying and has 4 different typings that get paired with it. I know there was one that we did for the electric tier list, but whatever. This is fine. It's whatever. Pylosand is next. It's a fun concept. I'll give it that. Ghost Ground. I mean, it is a fun concept, and I'm gonna do C for concept. I mean, it is a castle. It gives me that whole, again, like the knights kind of vibe theme going with it. But I don't know. I like it, but it's just not something that I'm gonna gravitate towards if I'm gonna put it on a team. So next we have Mimikyu, and if you see my fairy types here list, this should be no surprise to you. It's gonna land here in the C tier still. Like it a little bit better than the Oricorio, but I really just don't care for this Pokemon all that much. Moving on, we have Delmise here. Delmise, again, Grass Ghost. There's a couple Grass Ghosts floating around today. Obviously, there's like, 4 of them or whatever it is. Delmise isn't terrible for a design. I think it would have hit better if it was more of a water ghost over a grass ghost. I get it, it's got like kelp and seaweed growing on it or whatever, but I don't know. I think this one could have landed a little bit better. It's still a pretty interesting design though, so I'm gonna land it up here in the C tier, right above Cofagrigus, underneath Pylosand. Yeah, I think that's probably at least fair enough. Next we have Lunala. You guys, this is an immediate S tier design. I can't stress this enough. I like Giratina a little bit better, but I think at the end of it all here, it's still one of the best ghost designs to date. So we're gonna put them up here in the S tier. And we're not gonna say more on it. Marshadow, guys. Marshadow is extremely cute. I've never used one before. It's extremely cute, but I still think like Shuppet and Pumpkaboo are still a little bit cuter. I'm gonna stick Marshadow at the top of B tier. personally, I think it's fair. It's surviving purely off of how cute this thing is. Yeah, I think that's fair. I don't have much to talk about on Marshadow because, again, I've never used one before, and it's a mythical, so it's really, you know, it is what it is. Moving on, we have Blacephalon, and this thing is probably the worst ghost ever created. I actually think Hoopa is at least a little bit more respectable. Fire Ghost, I mean, really don't have much more to say on it. Next, we have Poltergeist. Poltergeist is decent on theme, but I don't know. It's not really something I would use. I'm trying to think of what if I would use these other things more so. I probably actually would use Cophagrigus before I would use this, but I think I would actually prefer to use this over the Mimikyu, so we'll put it there in C tier. I think that's fair. Next we have Corsola, the retrain of Corsola. Really good theme here, like the whole dead coral vibe, really cool. Pure ghost type. I think B tier, again, purely design here, I think I like it better than Rotom. I think I actually like it better than Spiritomb. And I think I like it better than the Blimp, but I can't put it past the Jellyfish, because I would much prefer to use a Jellyfish on a team. I probably honestly would rather use this on a team or this on a team, but that's where what I would prefer to use on a team outweighs what I like in design better. So yeah, we're gonna put it right here in the middle of B. Not much more to say about it. We'll move on. Runerigus. I think Runerigus' design lands a bit better than Cophagrigus' design. I'm going to put this up in B tier. I do like it better than Rotom. And I think I like it a little bit more than this and this, but I think that's probably where I would end. Because again, I would outweigh design over if I would use it or not in this case. So I think that's where we're gonna land that. I think that's pretty good. Moving on, we have Dragapult. Dragapult. Dragapult is easily going to the very tip top of A tier for me. Ghost Dragon, they finally did it. They did a phenomenal job. It's not like over the top or anything, but it's really cool. Yeah, top of A tier. Definitely one of my favorite pseudos of all time. Top of A tier. Enough said. Really great Pokemon. Spectrier is pretty good theme-wise. I'll put it towards the low end of A. It's good on theme. It's pretty cool, but I'd much rather use some of these other things. Maybe I like this thing's design. I would probably, obviously this is a legendary, I would much rather use this than a lot of these over here. But it's one of those things where I'm really liking these designs a little bit more than this. But this is on point for design, so I really can't complain too much about it. But yeah, I'm gonna keep it here at the low end of A. We have a lot of things in A tier. Again, second favorite typing in all the game. Doesn't surprise me that there's a lot of things going to be really high on the listing compared to things being very low on the listing. So next we have the what is it? The Barasculons or whatever you want to call them, however you want to say it. This was Water Ghost. We're gonna put them next to the other Water Ghosts, but just above them. I like Sablei's design better, but I would much rather use these two before the other two water ghosts, I think. I mean, these are fair. I mean, these are pretty bulky. Just design-wise, I think these weigh out a little bit better than them, but I probably would still use one of these over them. You know, it's hard decisions here that we're making. Moving on, this is probably one of my favorite fire starters ever. Fire Ghost. I'm not really somebody that picks fire starters to begin with, but if I were to play a Gen 9 game, you wouldn't catch me taking any other choice, I don't think, over this. I like my Typhlosion a little bit better still, but this thing is a phenomenal design, so we're going to land this thing right here. Right above Trevenant, right before Typhlosion. They're both fire ghosts, so I'd much rather have my Johto retrain over the new thing, but definitely really, really solid design for this Pokemon. What is it again? Skeledirge. Yeah, Skeledirge is such a sick name, too. Alright, next we have Ceruledge. Ceruledge, again, you got like this whole like knight warrior looking thing. Easy S tier for me, guys. Easy S tier design. Gonna bump Dusk Noir down. I still like my Miss Magius and the Flutter Mane here better, but not by much. This is like a close race up here to begin with, so yeah, really cool. Really digging it. It's really cool. Moving on, we have, what the heck is this thing called again? The Bramblegast. Yeah, Bramblegast here. Not a fan. Again, it's another grass ghost. Definitely. I mean, it's cool. Like, I get it. It's funny. Like, tumbleweed. Like, haha, tumbleweeds are dead grass. Like, okay, yeah, it's perfectly fitting. The funny thing is I still, actually, I'm gonna have to redo this. This is gonna come up here in C tier. I'd still much rather use it. Probably even more than these three. So we'll put this in like that, and we'll call it a day. Yeah, it's okay. It's better than I give it credit for, because I still think it would be more interesting to use than these three. So it is what it is. Moving on, we have Glimmagool. I don't know. It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. We don't have an F tier for funny, but I think its design is still better than these two, but I still think it's a D tier worthy Pokemon. Goldango. I know this is a phenomenal, I mean, Ghost Steel. What more can you say? Very phenomenal for the competitive scene. Design-wise, it's really not landing for me all that much. It's, for me, it's a D tier design, guys. I think the treasure chest is funnier, and I like that better. So, fortunately, it's gonna land there. Next, we're gonna have the, what is this? Sinistea, yeah, or Sinistra or whatever you want to call this. I mean, it's just like a retrain of Poltergeist. It's not terrible. Again, it's another ghost grass. I think coloration-wise and stuff, it is. I think it is better, but not by much. Yeah. Well, I don't know what happened there, but okay. Yeah, that's fine. I think that's a good spot for it. Next we have, and if you've already seen the poison type, the poison type tier list, we have Pecharunt. Pecharunt is another D tier design, just overall. sad to see 5 ghosts, I'm sorry, be in D tier here, but it is what it is. They're just the bottom of the barrel design-wise, in my opinion. Now, guys, if you haven't noticed, there is a very clear ghost missing from our list, and that would be Gengar. And if you've seen my Poison-type tier list, well, he landed himself in the B tier as a Poison-type design. As a ghost type, he's definitely fitting for the A tier. But there's one design that stands above all of them, in my opinion, and the design that I think was far better in the whole Haunter line, or the Ghastly line, and that is Haunter. Haunter is, without a shadow of a doubt, my favorite ghost-type Pokemon ever created. Ever since Gen 1 came out, I've always thought it was simple, but it had a good, scary aspect to it. I love this ghost design so much. I think it is the best, my #1 S-tier design for a ghost-type Pokemon throughout all of Pokemon's history. Like, there really is no contest here. The Chandelure is a very good close second. I really do like this Pokemon a lot. And if it wasn't for Haunter being in the Ghastly Gengar line, this probably would be my favorite design. I think it's a really good Pokemon. But Haunter is my favorite Pokemon for the ghost types to have ever existed, guys. There he is. All you Gengar fans out there, I'm sorry. Haunter is just better, in my opinion. So, but anyway, guys, that is going to wrap it up for this spooky tier list of the ghost type Pokemon. I hope you enjoyed your time here, and if you did, hit that like button. And again, if you liked the video and you would like to see more, there's plenty of links that are going to be in this video. And if you're not subscribed, and you know, maybe just do it. And if you do, and you come back and check out more content, well, I'll see you in the next video, guys. But anyway, until then, guys, I've taken up enough of your time for today. Go out and enjoy this Halloween season if you're celebrating the holiday. And I will catch you in the next video, guys. Until then, stay safe out there. Take care. I'm ProtoPawn. Peace.